Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, To Flame. You saved the day. Yes, you saved the day. My apologies. I'm so glad that I inquired about the audio. So could you hear me now? Yes, my apology for that. So again, okay, let me just repeat what I said because I see that it was on mute, my mic. So let me begin again. This is Spirit Journey, and I'm going to discuss about the Kaaba Stone that's in Mecca and about the women that follow this faith system, in particular Saudi Arabia, the women of Saudi Arabia. That's what I want to talk about. And I want to talk about this Kaaba Stone because, well, for the past few days, and in particular, when I found out yesterday about Jeffrey Epstein was he was found dead in his cell. And for those of you who don't know about Jeffrey Epstein, he's from New York, and he was arrested again. He was arrested the first time about 11 or 12 years ago he pleaded guilty to a lesser crime of soliciting prostitution with a person. And actually these were teenage girls. They were underage girls. And he was arrested again about a month ago, and he was to go on trial next year. But before the trial could begin, yes, hello viewers, you're welcome to this live stream. And please let me know if you can hear me. I had the mic on mute a moment ago, but I would like to make sure that the audio is up and running. Okay, so please, To Flame, if you can hear me, if you could just type in whether you could hear me clearly or not. Yes, I want this to be an open dialogue, to make this live stream excitable. Okay, wonderful. To make this an excitable, interactive live stream show. Okay, so yes, with Jeffrey Epstein, he was found dead, and he was trafficking teenage girls to be used eventually to solicit sex to rich politicians, prime ministers. Yes, great. I'm glad you can hear me. Prime ministers, important people, rich people, just to blackmail so he could control them. Okay. And so that news, when I got the news that he was found dead yesterday, I was very, very upset in my chest. I had a lot of stress, and it was just so happened the day before yesterday I did a live stream regarding Jeffrey Epstein. So my sensitivity was reawakening regarding females in general. And I also just a couple of days ago did a live stream regarding the Kaaba. The Kaaba is in Mecca, and the people of Islam have to go to like the 5 pillars of faith require Islamic people to visit Mecca and to circle what they call the Kaaba. Kaaba, I think, means like a square. It's a cube. It's actually made out of granite. Granite is like a dark gray stone, and the people have to circle it. And so it was just so happened that I did a video on that. Okay. So Okay, my little dog wants to get down. Okay, so I wanted, after the death of Epstein, I wanted to talk about this as it pertains to women in general. So what I'll be showing you, yes, the Kaaba of, yes it is. Yeah, exactly. So again, this video, as I mentioned earlier, but it was on mute, my mic by accident, this video is in no way to insult the people of Islam, in no way. This video is about an exploration of the Kaaba Stone, the history of it, and the women, and why certain things happen to women. So, and again, I'm not a Muslim. I am not a historian of the faith of Islam, but I want to share with you certain thoughts that I had as it pertains to women and some of the things that I learned about the Kaaba Stone. Okay, so I will begin by, sorry. It's okay. Shh. Sorry. I live in apartments. There was some noise. Someone dropped something. Okay. It's okay, baby. It's okay. They'll stop. Okay, so what I want to do right now, I want to show you some information that I found. Okay. Let me see here. So I'm going to be showing you another window. Okay. Again, I'm not going to show you things to be obscene or anything like that, because I will be showing you what the Kaaba Stone looks like. And I don't think many people know what it looks like, but this is what it actually is. Let me show you the Kaaba Stone. Okay, so you can see the screen. This, what you see here, is the Kaaba Stone. You see there? It says the black stone of Kaaba. What does that look like? Again, I'm not in no way trying to be obscene in any way, but this is the actual Kaaba Stone. It is on the, let's read it now. Let me see. Let me go up a little bit. Okay, let's see. Let's see. As it reads here, every day, 5 times a day, Muslims across the globe face Mecca and pray. When they face Mecca, it is not Mecca that they are truly facing. It is a cube-shaped building known as the Kaaba, or simply Kaaba. This building is also known as, okay, I don't even know how to pronounce that, and it means the house of Allah. And it's on the east corner of this revered building, etc. Okay? Okay, I'm reading Two Flame. It says, it looks like a black, yes, it is. Exactly, yes. So one day, I came across this and I was dumbfounded. Okay? And I said, oh my God, I know what that is. And again, a couple of days ago, I did a video. And my question then was, what's going on? Why are they circling around? And so I want to show you that also. Okay, let me just see here. Let me just see anything else here. Okay. Okay, let me show you another page. Okay. Now this is an aerial view of the Kaaba, and as you see, it's a square. And I would play with you. I don't have any audio on this because I don't want any copyright infringement. So it's going to play now. Let me make it bigger and play it for you. See that? They are walking. What you see in this view are people circling what is known as the Kaaba. And this is one of the 5 pillars of faith that is required for every Muslim. It's called a Hajj. And in this Hajj, they are to encircle this cube. And inside that cube is that stone. See that? Okay, let me put it. Okay, I'll let you go. Let it show. Now look at this. Now these are thousands of people, thousands and thousands of people. See that? They're bending down to pray. And what I talked about a couple of days ago in my other live stream was that they are encircling this Kaaba around and around. And what happens? They are generating energy. See, they're praying right now. What is prayer? Prayer is direct energy of focus. They have of one mind, and they're focusing their attention on one particular thing, and that is the Kaaba. What is prayer also? Prayer is energy. What is prayer? Prayer is energy. It is directed energy to something. Whatever what you focus on, good or bad, you are directing that energy to that focus. So as you see here, do you see this? Okay, there's no sound. I have the sound off. Just imagine, these are thousands of people, maybe even 1 million. And all that energy is directing to that one cube. See that? Look at that. People coming in, people coming out. So imagine all this energy is being sent there. Okay? All your energy is being sent there. And as I mentioned, that energy is neutral. And you harness that energy. So let me show you again. Okay? So, what you just saw a moment ago, that energy is going into this picture. Now, what is that picture? That is a woman's private part. All the energy is going into that. And I said to myself, why? What is the significance of that? And then it hit me. It is my opinion that they are tapping into, okay, this is a woman's birth canal. And it is silver. That outside of the rock, that's inside that hole, which is the birth canal, is made out of silver. What is silver? Silver is a metal. Well, big deal that it's a metal. What is the significance of silver? Well, I'll tell you. Silver is the highest conductor of energy / electricity. When you see these people, let me show you again. When you see these people walking around, they are generating energy. And that generation of the energy and that focus of prayer, again I said prayer is energy that's direct, that's specific and is directed to the point of attention, and that point of attention is that woman's private part. So their energy is actually going into. So it is a sex ritual. Let me repeat that. Going around the Kaaba is a sexual ritual and sending that energy into the Kaaba. Okay? So that means this is very significant to Islam. And for it to be one of the 5 pillars of faith, and that it's mandatory to go there in it at least once in your lifetime, that means it's very significant and essential aspect of the faith. Okay, let me know if you can hear me out there. Okay, are you understanding what I'm getting at? Please type in the chat room if you understand, if you're following me, if you need for me to re-explain anything. So, as I said, that what is happening here is that it is a sexual ritual that is being done, and is being done to a female symbol. So this is a fertility rite also. A fertility rite. Okay, yes, I thank you to Flame. And so, what is the significance of that, a sexual ritual? Well, I don't really know in particular why. Why is this essential? But I started to think that this artifact is actually pre-Islamic, meaning that this stone was there before the Islamic faith. And inside the Kaaba, that square that I showed you, that's made out of granite, black granite, that it's absorbing. Okay, and sterling or silver here is again a conductor of electricity. That means it really harnesses that energy. And that also, I'm not sure, I do not know definitively, but the fact that it's within granite, and I'm speculating also that the shape, the square shape, may be like an amplifier. Okay, and amplify, that means to make stronger, more intense, harnessing the energy of the people. And this energy could be getting sent to somewhere else. And I ask myself, well, it's just dawning on me now. Where's it being sent to? Well, do you remember, or those out there, that Muhammad was given the Quran, or at least it was discussed via the Archangel Gabriel. Gabriel is an archangel. So wouldn't it be then believe that if Gabriel's the one that gave you the information, that maybe that energy and worship going to that archangel and or to Allah. And it's also known that Allah is a pre-Islamic God. Pre-Islamic Saudi Arabia had many gods of worship, and they would go to the Kaaba and worship the different idols that was physically inside the Kaaba, that housing. Okay. Also, I'm thinking that that stone may be a meteorite. The meteorite came from out of space. And so I was thinking that the significance of the Kaaba Stone, and for them to deliberately have this stone encased in what looks like the woman's private part, is to give a, how do you pronounce it, commemoration of their God, the commemoration of their origin. As you know, Islam embraces certain aspects of Judaism and Christianity. Okay, so the book of Genesis, they may adhere to. Okay, without Judaism and Christianity, you do not have Islam, because Islam is based on those scriptures, right? So, the origins of Islam, of mankind, and remember in the book of Genesis, I think it's chapter 6 in the book of Genesis, about how you had the sons, the sons of God coming down and mating with the women. Okay. These were foreign entities coming to planet Earth. And these beings from another planet later became worshipped as God. And I'm speculating that perhaps this meteorite or this stone may have come from the origins of these gods, that it is the parent mother of this race of people. And if you talk to some religious people in the Jewish faith, I was told once that Moses was a giant. Moses was, according to the ultra-Orthodox Judaism, the ultra-Orthodox Hasidic movement, that they teach, because I attended the class in this community. See, I'm a type of person, if I want to know about something, I go directly to the people. So I had an opportunity 9 years ago. I attended the Chabad, Lubavitch facility for the summer. And I attended some of their Torah studies. And the rabbi, it was a young rabbi, and he mentioned that Moses was 30 feet tall. I'm thinking also that for him to be 30 feet tall, that perhaps his genetics was alien or part alien, right? Because, you know, the Arabs' father is also Abraham. Okay, so it seems to suggest that it's a possible extraterrestrial link, extraterrestrial link to the people of that part of the world, and that their homeland, and that the leaders of these religions, such as Moses at one time, yeah, Moses was a giant, never heard that, yeah, 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 you go to the Chabad Lubavitch and talk to the rabbi and ask about Moses. How tall was Moses? They said Moses was 30 feet tall. I thought the guy was insane. I didn't say anything. But now, this was 9 years ago. But now, learning about certain histories, I think he has something, I think he's saying something. Okay, maybe that's why Moses had power to turn staff into ankh or snake. Yes, exactly. He had power. And he's overlooked. So it seems to be suggesting, okay, you have this rock here that is venerated, and the Arabs and the Jews have the same father. They have the same father. And when you have the same father, you are a family. Because in Islam, the men could have more than one wife. So that is nothing new. Even pre-Islamic Saudi Arabia, they had multiple wives, the men. Okay? So this stone, as you see, is signifying the womb. And what is the womb? Your origins, your motherland. And this, I believe, is what Islam is really about. Okay, but I'm confused about something. Okay, let me show you something else. Let me show you this. Okay, this is what it looks like inside the Kaaba. Okay, it's very plain. Let me click on it, see what happens. See if it gets bigger. Okay. Okay, it looks very clean. Sorry about that. Let me make it bigger. So there's pillars, as you see. The colors of Islam is green. There are 3 pillars. Okay. Okay, cancel that. Okay, I just wanted to show you what that looked like. Okay, so here's some other pictures. Okay, so it's small. These are other pictures of it. Okay, and this, what you see here, this black is actually a curtain. But behind the curtain is the, what do you call it, the granite. I don't know the what do you call it, the properties of granite, but I do know that it's one of the hardest stones. It's just slightly softer than a diamond, so it's a pretty hard stone, and I'm sure it must have some type of property that's why they chose it. Well, one thing, if it's very hard, then it's durable. Okay, so that's what I figured. They wanted something that would last for a long time, and this is essential to them, to people of Islam. Okay, let me show you the next picture here. Okay, this is about Okay. Saudi Shura proposes women-only timings for Black Stone ritual. Okay. It says, in Islam, kissing or touching the black stone is a must, but the sheer number of pilgrims make women's access to site difficult. Okay, this article is written in 2016, okay? It says here, the Committee for Islamic Affairs in Saudi Arabia, Shura Council, is currently studying a proposal presented by one of its members for allocating specific women-only timings for kissing the black stone ritual during Hajj and Umrah proceedings. Okay. Okay, part of the Hajj pilgrim entails kissing or touching the stone after every tawaf or encircling of the Kaaba, but due to the sheer number of pilgrims visiting every year, it is acceptable enough to wave at it from a distance. Okay. So again, as I stress that this is something that's essential. This is essential for women, for people of Islam to do, to touch the stone, men and women, and to kiss it. Okay, so it's pretty big. I had other questions now. Okay, this section here that you see on the screen, this is about Khadija. Khadija is the first wife of Muhammad. Okay. She died first. Khadija, as you see here, she died in 1619, and she was 65 years of age. And she was married to Muhammad for 25 years, okay? And she was highly praised, Khadija. Okay, as you read here, it says, Khadija is recognized as a great woman. Muhammad revered Khadija's memory the rest of his life and consistently held her up to both men and women as a model of intelligence, virtue, courage, and devotion to family and to God. Okay, they were married for 25 years. That's a long time. She's older than Muhammad also. Okay, I want to see anything else here. Oh no, let me go up. Yeah, one thing, okay. I think it also said that Khadija, his wife, was the first convert. Okay. Okay, she was a wealthy woman also. So I started to ask myself a question. Yeah, see that? Khadija, first woman of Islam. So I have a question. Khadija, the wife of Muhammad, also bankrolled his endeavors. Without Khadija, there would be no Islam. Khadija, to my understanding, if I remember right, Khadija lived in a convent because she had Catholicism. See, Saudi Arabia wasn't always Islamic. Islam is a newer religion. It came after Christianity, approximately 600 years after Christianity. And before then, there was Judaism. And of course, the people of what we call Saudi Arabia, before any of those faiths, the people believed in many gods, okay, such as the Kaaba. So I had a question. I said, now, Muhammad loved his wife Khadija, but I got confused. And those of you who understand, those of you who are watching who are Islamic, if you can share in this discussion. I did, again, after Khadija died, Muhammad did have other wives. And I got confused why one of his wives, he was given a wife, and she was 6 years old, but he consummated that the union with that female when she turned 9 years of age. And it confused me, that truth about Muhammad. Okay? And so I thought that how or why? So maybe this was just the custom of the day. Okay? But modern day Islam has so much restrictions, and to outsiders, definitely people would, let me just show myself here, just a moment. Yeah, what I wanted to say was, see, to me, again, I'm not someone of that faith. And so, in my perception, my understanding that Islam has a lot of restrictions, at least in Saudi Arabia, a lot of restrictions for the women. And so it made me feel that there was a hatred against the woman. And I didn't understand. I said, well, why would this happen in Islam if the first convert was his wife, and that the wife was much older than him by 15 years, and that she had money, she was highly intelligent. So how did Islam turn into a faith system that seems to be something that holds women back of certain freedoms? And so it made me feel that women were being hated upon in Islam. That was just how I interpret it. Again, this video is not about slam dunking Islam in any way. This is to be a discussion for understanding. Okay, so you have a woman named Khadija. What if Khadija were alive today? How would she view Islam? How would she like the women who practice this faith to be treated the way they are across the Islamic world, and in particular in Saudi Arabia? That was my question. So I want to show you this other thing here. Okay. In this page here, could you guys hear me out there in on the chat? Please let me know that you're following along what I'm discussing and that it's making sense. And if you need me to clarify anything, or if you have any questions, please feel free to type that question or comment in the chat room. Okay, so what I have here now is a page. Let me pull it down a little bit. Okay, it says Saudi Arabian women no longer need a man's permission to travel. Here are the biggest changes they've seen in the last 2 years. So again, in Islam and in Saudi Arabia in particular, there are a lot of restrictions on women. And one thing, that women are not allowed unaccompanied by any male, regardless of the age of the male. They cannot be unattended by a male. So even if they're with a baby, a male baby, to my understanding, they'll do that. Okay, so let me scroll up. And as you see that the women have to be covered up. Okay. Here are some of the things that women can do. Women under the age of 21 in Saudi Arabia can now travel without a male guardian's permission. The country has also allowed women to drive. You hear that? Women weren't allowed to drive. They were trapped in their homes. Lifted a decades-long ban on cinemas and is building a multi-billion-dollar entertainment city 2.5 times the size of Disney World. Many of the changes have been pushed by Mohammed bin Salman, who, since his promotion to Crown Prince in June 2017, has taken drastic steps to reform and modernize Saudi Arabia in an effort to shift the country's economy away from oil and prepare the country for the future. Okay, so that's interesting to find out. See, he's a smart man. He knows, and much of the true Arab world, and I word it like that, true, because not all Arab speakers are Arab. No, I'm sorry. Not all Arab speakers are Arabic, or Arabs, I should say. They may speak Arabic, but they may not be Arabs. That's what I'm trying to say. And so there's certain cultural things that they follow. And so the oil, they know that the oil is almost up. I do not know why the Western world in particular allowed Arabs so much autonomy and control over their resources, because they don't give the same autonomy for the black African. And so that's what's really that's why it's such a paradox about the Arab world, because they have the control over the resources, and they didn't bring like European colonials to take the resources. They're allowed to practice their culture. They have that control. And in a short period of time, from a desert people to a very polished, very modern city out of the sand. They started out, I think, 100 years ago, when the oil industry really started blooming, because you had cars that was developed and engines. So they know it's not going to last forever. And I speculate, because if you're not going to be oil dependent, then you have to rely on some other means of money. And so they have to extend their ability of income. So they require the women now. And I was told that the women of Saudi Arabia and the peninsula, that over 60% of the women have college degrees, but they cannot use the college degree because they are prevented to work outside of the home. But they know that now they have to use those degrees, those women, to support the country. Okay, I'm just reading To Flame. So it sounds like they pimping their women in Saudi Arabia. Very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, it's something's going on. Okay. Let me read this also. It says, MBS remains, I don't know what MBS is, but remains a polarizing figure, though, as he faced global outcry in fall 2018 over the death of journalist Jamal, etc., who the CIA later concluded was assassinated on the prince's orders. Okay, that's some other politics going there. Okay, I don't know what that is. But this is really telling. So here you have a faith system that is very focal on its focus on the female anatomy to such a degree that it's one of the 5 pillars of a must of that faith system. Yet, these women don't have the freedom of basic autonomy to be able to go and get a job outside of the home, to be able to even drive a car on their own, and that to even go outside, that they have to wait till they're 21 years of age to now be able to go outside unattended. Okay, why this restriction on the woman? If this faith system, Islam, is a faith that is in love with the female anatomy. Okay, that's a question that I have. Let me show you something else. Now, there's another thing that's done in Saudi Arabia. Okay. This reads, prevalence of female genital mutilation by country, the Wikipedia. And as you see here, it says, jump to Saudi Arabia, estimates for FGM, which stands for female genital mutilation, prevalence rate of FGM in Djibouti range from 93 to 98%. Okay? Female genital mutilation is the removal of the female anatomy. And it depends upon what country, of how severe. Now, Saudi Arabia, they may just remove what is called the clitoris. Okay, that is the part of the female anatomy that promotes gratification. And when you remove that, that means that that woman will not have a sexual response. I want to be as tactful. I don't want to offend anyone who's listening, okay? I want to be very tactful. So do you understand out there what I'm trying to say? Okay. So if this clitoris is removed, then it's to have sexual intercourse is extremely painful. Okay. And in some cultures, that not only do they remove the clitoris, but also what's called the labia, the whole organ on the outside, and it is actually sewn up. And so what happens when that is done, the female, when she comes, it's done at a very young age. They could be maybe 6 years of age that it's done upon. And in many countries, there's no anesthesia. They might use a piece of glass to cut off the female anatomy. And they use this needle to sew up. And so the only thing that she could, it's a hole big enough for her to urinate in. And when she comes of age, or menstruating age, that this is a problem, becomes a problem, and she can actually get toxic poisoning because the vaginal canal cannot release the blood toxins from the body. So many of these women die. They die during childbirth. So this is a practice that seems to be punishing the woman. Why So I ask myself, why are women in Saudi Arabia are treated like this? Why are they denied the pleasure? I do not know whether this practice in Saudi Arabia, I do not know whether it is a practice that is pre-Islamic. So any of you out there, if you know whether this was a practice that was done before Islam, please let me know, and you can type in that information in the chat box, okay? So you see, it's a very large number. So you have women who are forbidden at one time the ability to go outside without a male chaperone. The women's private parts is violated. It's harmed. It causes a problem with giving birth. Why would this happen? And let's say if Khadija, Muhammad's first wife, who was 15 years older than him and wealthy and financed him, what would she say today? Would she agree upon this? So those of you who are Islamic, please let me know what you think, what she would say. Okay. So I have one more thing here. Okay. Now this is about Gabriel. Now I made mention about the Archangel Gabriel. Okay, as you see on the screen here. Okay. Now, according to Muhammad, he was visited by the Archangel Gabriel. So this is what I found on Google. It says, in Islam, Gabriel is an archangel whom God sent with revelation to various prophets, including Muhammad. The first 5 verses of the 96th chapter of the Quran, the Qur'an, is believed by Muslims to have been the first verses revealed by Gabriel to Muhammad. Okay. So who is this Gabriel? Okay, I'm thinking that this Gabriel, he says is an archangel, and again, this is something some people may say Gabriel is possibly an extraterrestrial, an advisor, like a messenger, like a general, discussing what Muhammad is to follow. So that is just my thought about that. So Islam seems to have this extraterrestrial heritage. So again, I did this live stream to really discuss about women. And there are many, many people who follow Islam, about 1 billion people. And many of those people do the female genital mutilation. But you see that in Islam, just a reminder, in Islam, they have a fixation of the black stone, which is in a shape of a woman's private part on the outside, and that they have to generate energy through prayer. Okay? They're generating this energy. This is a sexual ritual, in my opinion, and an essential attribute of the faith. So much that is one of the 5 pillars of their faith, that every Muslim has to do this ritual. And the lucky ones are the ones who are able to touch the black stone and to kiss it. But yet this faith system is very limiting to the woman. And it does and practices female genital mutilation, even though the first convert of this faith system of about 1 billion people was a woman, an older woman of 40, and a woman that believed in Muhammad so much that she had bankrolled him, financed his endeavors to make Islam one of the most powerful faith systems on this planet. And despite that, the women are given second-class status. And look at this here. See below that thing that's sticking up in the bottom center of the screen? That is an antenna. What is an antenna? An antenna is something that receives energy and sends off energy. I'm thinking that this Gabrielle that spoke to Muhammad required him to do this ritual as a vortex. This vortex of power, this vortex that's so powerful. Look at that. That is power that's being generated. That is power. And it's doing that for a reason. Everything that you see is all done with purpose. And as you see, they're going counterclockwise. Well, I studied when I was in the military. Yes, I was in the military. Basic electricity work I had to study. And they teach you something with mechanics. It said lefty loosey, righty tighty. What direction are they doing? What direction are they going? They're going counterclockwise. That means they're turning left. And what did I say what lefty loosey means? Is to open. So they're opening the vortex. They're opening the portal of communication because they're praying. Prayer, as I said, is energy. And energy is being funneled. See again this other tower to the far right? That is a tower. And it's receiving the energy of the people. That is Islam. And yet, Islam is preventing the women full access. Yeah. It is preventing women full participation, but slowly it's changing. And they're forced to change because the oil is almost up and they're going to need their women to help out the guys. But wouldn't it have been nice that they're not just changing the system because the oil is almost gone? So I just find this very fascinating about religion, about origins, about the possible ET connections, that they're worshiping a stone that is representative of the womb, the origin, the mother, but yet they don't really respect women, and women are given second-class citizenship. I wonder whether or not the Islamic faith, whether it was hijacked. At what point did Islam change into this system, or was it something that was always? Was this something pre-Islamic, or occurring once Islam got established? And again, this is not a put down for anyone who practices Islam. If this religion serves you, then you serve it. So does Two Flame, do you have, okay, it was, yes. When you say it was, that it was pre-Islamic? Oh, okay, it wasn't Islam, it was Arabia, okay. Could you please explain Ara? When you say it was, that it was a pre-Islamic thing, the attitude towards the women? Please elaborate. And does anyone have a question? I know I mentioned a lot of things here. I try to be as thorough as I could. Oh, okay. Yeah. Do you know when it might have been hijacked, Ara? And are you Muslim? Ah, okay. Well, welcome. Welcome, Ara. Welcome. You're an Islamic woman. Okay. And in your understanding, when do you think or know when Islam was hijacked to treat women the way that I described? I don't know how much of this live stream, okay, every day us hijack, okay. Okay. Do you know, okay, yes, I am, but I have my own, it's okay. Okay. Do you know when the religion was hijacked? I appreciate your feedback, Ara. That's not Islamic thing. Okay, what is not an Islamic thing? The female genital mutilation you're talking about? It's more tradition Arabic thing. Okay. If it's not too personal for me to ask, Ara, are you are you are you living in the Islamic world? Okay. Okay, you're saying that it's not Islamic, and okay, nope. Okay, when you say everything, I missed something. I think I'm talking too fast, okay. Okay, was mistranslated. Okay. Okay, you're from Canada. Okay. Were you Ara? Were you born in Canada? You were born in Canada, Ara? There seems okay. Okay. If it's not too personal, Ira. Okay. Oh, you're from the Middle East? Okay. What country in the Middle East are you from? Oh, wow. Okay, you were born in Brazil. Wonderful. Lived in Middle East, now in Canada. What country in the Middle East did you live in? Oh, wonderful. What country in the Middle East are you from? Oh, but your heritage, I mean, because you did explain you're from. Oh, okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. Do you have anything else that you want to share about your experience with Islam as it pertains to you being a woman? Okay, I have to let you get have time to type in the information. Yeah, this is very exciting because I appreciate your information here to get. I want to be very tactful. I'm not here to say anything that could be taken out of context. Let me show something here. Okay. Why call the Kaaba a vagina? Okay. Hussein Mohammed says, why call the Kaaba a vagina? Okay, very good question. And also Ara says, I found out Islam on my own. Oh, okay. So Ira, are you saying that you weren't, because I know Lebanon has a lot of Christians. Are you saying that you converted to Islam? My parents do not believe in religion. Okay. Ira, were you born, did you convert to Islam? Yeah, while I'm waiting for your answer, Ira, I'm going to answer Hussein Mohammed's question. Why call the Kaaba a vagina? Okay. Well, oh, okay. Ira is saying I was born Muslim. Okay. So your parents were not religious then, because you say your parents do not believe in religion. Okay. Okay. Now, in answering Hussein's question, okay, in early on in this live stream, I showed a picture. Since you asked that question, I'm going to show you something. Okay, I'm just toggling on the screen. I'm going to show you something on the screen. Okay, let me find it now. Okay, let me share you my screen. Okay, Hussein Mohammed, do you see the screen? Now this is it's a caption on the bottom of it, and it says the black stone of Kaaba. So what does that look like? I see that you said the word okay. Okay. Now it's obvious, I don't want to be vulgar or offend anybody, but this is an actual picture of what's on the Kaaba. And then the 5 pillars of Islam requires that you encircle this rock, and on the outside it is silver, and it's carved, it is shaped, it is fashioned as the private part of a woman. Okay, I want to be as tactful as possible, okay? Yes, it's the black stone, and what is on the outside of the stone, okay? Without being vulgar, that's what it is, and that's why I called it that. And if you didn't see in the video, I want to show you another picture. Okay. Just to stress my point, let me turn something here. Let me turn it back a little bit. Okay, I hope I'm able to get it. Let me fast forward. Okay, let me make it big for you, Muhammad. Husa Muhammad. Now this is Mecca. Okay, and these are the people who are doing the Hajj. And I'm hoping maybe I want to find that part where the people go around. Let me find it. See that? Okay, there's a section of it that I want to show you. I'm trying to find this particular section where they start to move very fast. See, look at that. Hussein Muhammad. What direction are they going, Hussein? They are walking counterclockwise. Yes, they're going counterclockwise. See that? In mechanics, lefty loosey, righty tighty. They are going left. When you go left, you are opening something. What are they opening? They are opening, let me show that again. Go back a little more. They are opening a vortex because they're sending all their energy to the Kaaba Stone. What is the Kaaba Stone? The Kaaba Stone is a woman's anatomy. This is sex magic. This is sex magic. This is sex magic. Okay? Put me back on. Okay. What you just saw there is sex magic. Yes, it's very interesting, Ira. It's when they go and walk counterclockwise, and as I told you, with mechanical stuff, when you're opening up a jar, you open it counterclockwise. That opens things. When you turn it to the right, you are closing. So what they're doing in encircling the black stone, which is that woman's anatomy, they are sending energy into the vagina. Okay, listen. Ira is saying, why do they need sex magic in your opinion? Very good question. Well, the whole thing in my opinion, is to send energy somewhere. In my opinion, religion and all religions, especially the Abrahamic faiths, is a faith system that is to give your energy. Worship is energy. Worship means a focus of attention. Anything you focus on is where energy is directed to. So when you pray, when you meditate upon something, that means you are focusing your energy upon something. And when that happens, your energy is being sent directly to that. That is what worship is. Worship is energy and your energy. And religion is about sending and feeding your energy to something else. Who is that something else? Well, let me show you this. Okay. Now, for those of you who are Islamic or Muslim, who did Muhammad talk to? Who came to Muhammad? Right? The Archangel Gabriel. As you see on this page here, in Islam, Gabriel is an archangel whom God, Allah, sent with revelation to various prophets, including Muhammad, etc. Okay? So Gabriel was a messenger for Allah. And as you know, as some of you may know, who is Allah? Well, Allah is a God. It is a pre-Islamic God. So before the archangel talked to Muhammad, the people of that region of the world in what we know as Saudi Arabia had believed in many gods, and inside that Kaaba, the Kaaba is that square block with the stone in, had gods, plural, of worship. And Allah is the moon god. And in Islam, the symbol of the Islamic faith is the star and the crescent moon, signifying its origin and possibly power attributed to the moon. Allah is the moon god according to pre-Islamic faith. And Muhammad decided that the people of that region were to now focus all its prayers / energy indirectly to the moon. So when you pray, and when you pray to Mecca, you're praying to that vagina. That is to signify the homeland of your faith, the mother womb of your origins, of the origin possibly of Muhammad, of the origins of possibly Abraham, because Muslims, well, not Muslim, I meant to say the Arabic people origin is believed to be Abraham, the father of the Arab race. Okay? And who was Abraham? Well, maybe Abraham had connections to the godhood. Maybe part of his DNA was extraterrestrial, because I made mention in early laugh out loud, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Okay, Hussein is saying, the moon god, where do you get this? Well, let me show you. I'll show you. Yes. See, this is an open discussion, and again, to be very respectful. This video is not to or be offensive to anyone, and we ought to learn from each other. Okay. And I see here Iris says, "Who cares if the moon or the sun? Where does the Creator fit in all this explanations, in your opinion?" Well, that's a very good question. Thank you, Ara, for asking me that question. Okay. I guess it has to do with our purpose here on this planet. See, I'm starting to believe. Again, I don't know, but I'm starting to believe that we are here to serve as energy. You're already disrespectful. We respect your opinion. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Hussein, why do you think I'm disrespectful? I am not. I haven't said anything disrespectful. I was very tactful about and I'm only showing what is known. So please explain. And I'll show you again you had asked me a question, where does the Allah come from? Okay, we're going to talk about it. Okay. According to Wikipedia, yes, I'm reading Ara. Say yes, God is energy. Everything is energy. Yes. Okay. Allah, according to Wikipedia, if you can see. Okay. Allah is the Arabic word for God in Abrahamic religions. In the English language, the word generally refers to God in Islam. The word is thought to be derived by, let's see. Okay. I'm trying to find it for you. Okay, it means for God. Where does Allah come from? Okay, Hassan is saying your Wikipedia is wrong. I'm trying to find it. Okay, let me type in something else. Allah. Pre-Islam. Let's see. Okay. Okay, it's the moon god. Let me see. Let me see here. Okay, religion in pre-Islamic Arabia. Okay. Trying to find it. Deities. Okay, role of Allah. Let me see that. Some scholars postulate in the pre-Islamic Arabia, including Mecca, Allah was considered to be a deity, possibly a creator deity or supreme deity in polytheistic pantheon. The word Allah may have been used as a title rather than a name. Okay. But it was, let's see, I'm trying to find it there. Okay, let me read your comment. Hussein, if you want to know God, must read God's word, not Wikipedia. Well, I'm just showing you some information, and the source you taken from is not correct. Okay, it may or may not, but let's type in. Okay. I know that Allah is a moon god. Let me see. Let me go through Google. Okay, bear with me. Who is the moon god? Okay. Allah is a lunar deity. Okay? They claim that Allah, the name of God in Islam, historically originates as a moon god worshipped in pre-Islamic Arabia, originates in early 20th century scholarship, most prominently advocated by American evangelicals from the 1990s. The idea was proposed by I can't pronounce it, Hugo Wickler in 1901. Allah as a lunar deity. Okay, let me click on that. Let's see. Is there a religion that worships the moon? Let's just, wait a minute. What is the difference between God and Allah? That's interesting. Let's find out. In the English language, the word generally refers to God in Islam. The word is thought to be derived by a contraction of al-ilah, which means the God, and is related to El and Elah, the Hebrew and Aramaic words for God. The word Allah has been used by Arabic people of different religions since pre-Islamic times. Okay. But as you see, as I showed you there, that it was considered a lunar god. Lunar means moon. And the symbol of Islam is what? Let me show you. What is the symbol for Islam? Okay, what do you see there? What do you see? The symbol of Islam is the crescent moon and a star. Allah is the pre-Islamic moon god. Early Islamic armies and caravans flew simple solid colored flags for identification purposes. In latter generations, the Muslim leaders continued to use the simple black, white, and green flag, etc. Muhammad used flags of different colors in different, etc. Okay, so in general, the symbol for Islam is a crescent moon. So if Allah is not the moon, so why is the symbol a moon with a star? That's all I'm saying. Yes, in general, Hassan, that it's a general word that they mean. Modern day Islam is a general name, but before Islam, they used the word Allah, and Allah was one of the many pantheons of gods that was worshipped at the Kaaba, and Allah is attributed as being the moon god. I didn't say it. It's what pre-Islamic people of that part of the world said. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Any other questions, anybody out there? Do you have any other question? Any of you have a question for me, or you want to share something? Oh, I see that Ira had a question. Okay, I have a question. What is Allah? What is Allah is an extraterrestrial would believe that he is the creator? Okay, I didn't quite understand, but are you saying that, are you asking me whether Allah is an extraterrestrial? Could be. It is something that was worshipped. Okay, I have a question. What if Allah is an extraterrestrial? Would you believe that he is the creator? Oh, very good question. I like that question. Well, I don't believe that only one thing could be a creator of something. I personally believe, and at least I'm starting to believe, that we are all part of the source. And I believe that Allah, like any of the other pre-Islamic gods, is a being that is vying for your worship. Allah demands people to come and to give worship to. And what is worship? And as I showed you in the video, that it is a direction of energy to be poured upon something, and is being poured upon this rock, and that area has an antenna. And what is an antenna? An antenna is a device that directs energy to either go up or down. And that's what's happening. So it is taking your energy. And again, that is Allah is, at least with pre-Islamic world in Mecca, that Allah is a moon god. So I believe that the prayer / energy is being directed to the moon to generate power that's over there. I believe that there is life on the moon, that there are beings on the moon, and that people on this planet are being used to be as batteries for other planets. That is what I believe. Okay, Arad is also saying, but this looking at the small things and discussing the bigger picture. Oh, dismissing the bigger picture. And what would you say, Ira, is the bigger picture? This sounds, I like your question. Very good questions, Ira. Yeah, see, this is exciting. I like having discussions with individuals. And it's okay to share ideas, and it's okay to disagree. See, I'm not here to impose my belief. I'm here to share my questions and understanding. Okay, Ira is saying, the bigger picture is who is the creator, not the creations. Oh, very good question. Very good question, Ira. Say, there's a movie, Ira, and it's called The Truman Show. I forget the name of the actor, but the movie is called The Truman Show. And there, an individual lives his life, and he never knew that he was being videotaped from the very beginning of his birth to the end of the movie. And he comes across a figure at the end of the movie that was supposed to be like the creator. I believe, go see the movie, Ira. And yes, you heard of it. And in that movie, it's almost like he has an epiphany about this bigger picture than himself, this creator-like figure. But that creator-like figure in the movie The Truman Show was not the creator. I believe that some of these gods are pretending to be like in that movie, The Truman Show, and pretending to be the creator. Why would a creator need you to bow down and worship? Why does the creator need your energy? Only living things like myself and you need energy to live because we're mortal. And that's what's happening. This life that we live, according to my opinion, is a race to get our energy for their food. That's what it's all about. So they require you to do certain things to create more energy. And that's my opinion. That's what I think. I think there's life on this on other planets. I believe that I'm starting to believe that the people on planet Earth have been hijacked, and that we're trapped here, and that the reincarnation cycle is like the movie The Matrix. Have you heard of the movie The Matrix? Yeah, I'm reading your statement now. We worship for our own self. The Creator don't need us. We need Him. Okay. Also, you say you're distorting your vision with what are the creators doing when you should be focusing on the source. Oh, I agree that we are to focus on the source. But I think we are part of the source. It's like looking at a diamond. The diamond has different facets. And yes, I might be looking at a particular facet, but we're part of that whole diamond. We are different facets of the whole. That's what I believe. Yeah, you also ask, the worship is for our own Savior, to save ourselves, because there is many evil on earth around us. How does worship prevent evil? If someone is evil, that's because of the energy they have. Whether you worship or don't worship doesn't change what you are. You are who you are. If you're evil, it's because you're evil. If you're good, it's because you're good. Yes, God does not need us. Yes, that is true. But we are God. We are part of the whole. We worship for our own good. We fast for our own good. Okay. Yeah, yes, I believe that that when we worship, that the act of worship, that the intent is for goodness. But again, worship has to do with that energy. And as you admitted, that we are all energy. So prayer is about sending our energy to something else. And in this case, it's some type of being that requires our energy. See, there's God and then there's the Creator. And I think that we are confusing the two. There is God who needs our energy, and then there's the Creator. And I think they're two separate things. Yeah, because energy, what is dark energy or light energy? Energy is energy. And that you need one, if you have one, you have the other. And that makes balance. Yeah, but there are good energies and there is bad energies. Energy is energy. It's like a knife. You can use a knife to spread butter on your bread, or you can use a knife to stab someone. It's the same item. It's intent. It's our choice. We have to pick as we have the free will to do so. Yes, I agree. I agree with that. But energy is energy. And whether you pray has to do with sending energy. So I guess you might be saying that when you pray, you're sending out good energy. But when you pray, it's just a communication to something. You can pray something negative, or you can pray something positive. And it's all about intent. And it's about focus. Okay, I like that. We are born as a holy soul. Yeah, I think our soul is one thing. Our soul is energy. But our body, the physical body, is something else. This body is just like a house, but it's not the true us. And I think what you call the holy soul, that is our true essence. But the physical body is a low density energy. And it only does what we direct it to. Those who have control. That's why it's so important to have self-control, so that you're in alignment, so your soul and your body is in harmony. And what's happening now on this planet is disharmony, in my opinion. Okay, Iris says, we choose what way to go. Okay, what way to go? Okay. Yeah, we ultimately do choose. Yeah, hi, it's Cam. Yes. Yeah, hi, beautiful. I finally caught your love. I miss seeing you live. Yeah, yeah, I've been on for a while. It's good to see you too. And yeah, and after this, when everything is complete, you could always go back to the beginning of the video and see what you missed, just in case if you didn't know. Okay, Ira is saying, that's what I mean. The body is a yes, it's just a house. And we need to respect that. Yes, I agree. Because you want it to work with you. Exactly. Yeah, thank you. It's Cam. Yeah. I like what you're saying, Ira. You have a lot of good thoughts out there. Anybody else have questions? See, this is a very interesting conversation. I think I would like all my live streams to be, interaction. Yeah, you're welcome, it's Cam. You are welcome. This live stream is good because you guys participate. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Does anyone have any questions that you want to ask me? as it pertains to this subject of the Kaaba Stone? Yeah, anyone else have any questions? Yes, I would say that this whole live stream, really, the focus is about women and how women are being, in my opinion, being abused and being violated. Okay, as Cam is saying, can you update me about what the conversation is about? I just got on. Yeah, excuse me. I was discussing about the Islam and the Kaaba Stone. The Kaaba Stone is in Mecca. That's where the birthplace of Islam supposed to be. I mean, originated from, and that it's in a like a block. I show you what it looks like. Iscam, since you came on late. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. Okay. Let me put on. Okay, I'm going to show you this picture. Is calm. Okay, so do you see this is calm? This scene, let me make it bigger. This picture, this video that you see, this is the Kaaba. The thing in the middle, it looks like a little black cube. That is called the Kaaba. And what you see are people walking counterclockwise, which is creating a vortex, an energy vortex. And the energy is going into this thing here. I'm going to show you where up close, what they're touching. Let me close it. They are touching this. So you see that it's Cam? Connected to that cube, that black cube, is the black stone called the Kaaba. Now, without being vulgar, what does that look like? So the outside is made out of silver, and I learned that silver is the highest conductor of electricity. And when you pray, praying is the focus attention of energy that is being directed to the focal point. The focal point of this cube is this thing, and this thing is shaped in the shape of a woman's anatomy. So energy is being sent there. And so with that, I started asking questions, Iscam, that why is it perceived that some of the women in Saudi Arabia, where this Kaaba is, why are the women not given the same rights and are very limited? So that's what the discussion was. So at the end of this live stream, you could watch the beginning of the video and understand where the conversation was going. Okay, so I see here. Oh yes, I see that. I see. Thank you for showing it to me. Yes. So that's what I was talking about, and I thought it was very interesting that you have a focus of energy / prayer being directed to a vagina. So I was wondering if it's a worship to the vagina. I realized that this is a form of sex magic. And when you walk counterclockwise, and in mechanics, going counterclockwise is the opening of a portal, and in this case is opening up the vagina and is getting in contact with the source of life, because the womb or the birth canal is where life begins. And so this is a worship of the origins of their faith system, their God. And they call their God Allah. And Allah, according to pre-Islamic faith, is the moon god. And so I believe that the worship of the moon god, that's where the energy is going to. The energy is going through the vagina and entering and being fed to the moon for energy. And this is something that every Muslim has to do before they die. Yeah, okay, you're saying that's what I wanted to say, that it looks like a woman's. Yes, exactly, it's cam, and that's what it is. But many people have not seen this. Yes, it's cam. Many people don't know that the Kaaba has this woman's anatomy. And they don't know that they have to kiss inside of it. They put the head inside the vagina and they kiss it and they touch it. And this is a must. Well, if you cannot touch it, like if you cannot get to the center of that cube, it's said that you can wave at it. But still, that is the focus of their faith system. And any Muslim on this planet, they have to face Mecca, where this stone is. And so every day, 5 times a day, this vagina is getting energy. And the energy is going to Allah. And Allah is the moon god according to the pre-Islamic religion. But in spite of all that, the women of Saudi Arabia are treated like slaves. Even though the founder of the religion, Muhammad, had a wife. His first wife was a woman that was 15 years older than him and had money. Muhammad was a poor man. He and his family were one of the most poorest people of his tribe. But he hooks up with Khadija, that's the name of his first wife, who is very loved by the Islamic faith. But despite Muhammad's love for Khadija, post-Khadija, and in modern times, the women of Islam have gotten many, many restrictions. So I didn't understand how and when did this transition against women started. And that's why I did this video. Yeah. So anyone else has a question for me as it pertains to the Kaaba and women? Anyone else have a question? Okay. I don't see anyone writing any further questions down. But what will say before I go is this was, I think, a very good discussion. I enjoyed all of your inputs. Okay, Iskam has a question. Why is it that mean just pray against women all over the world, you think? Okay. Oh, okay. Why is it that men, I guess she meant to say, men just pray against women all over? That, Iskam, that is a very good question. Yeah, that is a very good question. And that I think there's an answer to that, Iskam. And I'm glad that you brought it up because I did forget to talk about that. In my opinion, and you have clues in what they call the Bible in the New Testament. I don't know the Quran, but I have read the Bible in full. Yes. The clue is the story of Eve, as in the story of Adam and Eve. And that Eve is blamed for disobeying by eating of the fruit. And so I think it's a clue that something happened in history. And at one point, the woman was in a high position. And then women got hijacked. And that men were introduced. I believe that women were first on this planet, and that the men was introduced to this planet, and then there was an interruption, a hijacking, and that the men gained dominance over the women. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. So it's revealed in many different religions, all the Abrahamic faiths, and in some of the indigenous religions on the planet, that the woman was worshipped. The women were the priests. The women were the people who handled the herbs and did medicines. And then now, as time went on, it got taken over by men. And so anytime you see a woman exercising her knowledge, let's say of the natural world, she is called a witch and she is killed. That's what I think. Yeah, it doesn't make sense because I believe that it is a natural thing for people to respect the womb. If a man knows that he came out of a woman's body and that the woman is the first teacher, that woman teaches that child, whether it be a male or female, teaches them how to speak first, teaches them how to tie their shoes, teaches them how to put on their pants or their dress, teaches them how to cook, everything, and not the male. So with all that, how could a man then, in the natural, develop a system where the woman is hated, where the woman's intellect is squashed? In my belief, the woman got hijacked by other beings. I think the women were already on this planet, and I think the men were brought here to enslave women and everyone that came out of the woman's womb. And that's what this life system is all about. The attack on the woman the attack on nature, the natural system of the world, and the hatred of women. That is just my opinion based on what I see. Because it doesn't make sense to create a religion that says a woman cannot do this, a woman is dirty. It's just a lot of restrictions on women. Period. Women make less money. Why is the woman given less money? Well, if you give her less money, you have more control over her. So everything is about controlling the woman, controlling her womb, controlling her mobility in order to stifle her. The woman came first. I don't think the man came first. A man cannot reproduce, but a woman can. And perhaps the early woman was able to reproduce by her on her own. Maybe she had both anatomies in some form, like a flower. A flower is both male and female. But something happened, I believe an outer being interfered with that natural rhythm and separated, like in essence, separating the flower into two parts. The male part is pulled away from the female part, and then you have the two fight each other. That's what I'm thinking. Don't you notice now that the natural order of things is being perverted, is being twisted around? And with that, you have chaos. And when you have chaos, you're creating like a pump, an intensity of energy. And this energy is being harvested. And in this case, in the case of Islam, it's being harvested to the moon. And this moon god is doing anything that it can to increase its energy / prayer / worship. And that's where what do you call it? When you have to go in Islam and go into different worlds. Christianity does the same thing. It goes and it spreads its word by force. I forget the term that they use. So this is happening, but this is only happening, according to my understanding, with the Abrahamic faiths. The natural religion, what they call animists, that's practiced in Africa, that's practiced in the Americas, that's practiced in native Australia, that's practiced in the Pacific Islands. All the indigenous religions have a reverence for nature / the woman. Everything outside of that, it's a male worship, male dominance. And with that, you have an intensity of chaos. Anything else, anybody? I know I'm saying a lot. You guys are still there? Are you listening? Yeah, I know this is a whole big mouthful. It's a lot. It's a lot of. I do not know all the answers, and again, I'm exploring these different thoughts and trying to make sense of what's going on in the world. Why this human trafficking? Yeah, I also talk about human trafficking with Jeffrey Epstein. What is that all about? I think it goes far beyond just they want to entrap somebody with the underage. Why the need to do that? Again, it's violating the female. They also do men too. I mean, little boys. Little boys are violated also. But it's to violate. It's to steal one's energy, and it's perverting the energy. Oh, thank you. It's Cam. She says, I appreciate your video so much. I learned so much from you. Thank you so much for sharing your videos. You're welcome. You are so welcome. This is a whole learning process for me. I used to be a devout Christian, and about 3 years ago, I denounced my former faith system, and I'm just trying to learn what is my truth. I'm trying to understand what reality is. And I've been doing some meditation, and with that meditation I had experienced certain phenomenon that I never experienced before. So I know that life is more than just words in the book. It doesn't mean that you cannot learn from the Bible. It has a lot of information in it, but there's information that you can tap into outside of the Bible. I talked to a spiritualist once, and I had told him that I bought all these books to try to find out what the truth is. And he said that, there'll be a time when you don't need those books, and that you'll get the information directly, and that is through meditation. See, meditation, in my understanding, is to tap into the non-physical world. Things begin in the non-physical world, and then it is manifested into what we see, feel, hear, touch. This physical world is secondary. What begins in the non-physical world. And this spiritualist advisor told me, start tapping into that non-physical world. And you look at all these people who belong to what you call like those organizations, what they call the occult. They are tapping into the non-physical world, learning its secrets. So I'm just saying, for all of you, learn how to tap into what they are tapping into for your own personal edification, for your own personal growth, for your own truth. That's all I'm saying. What faith system you choose, that is your choice, and may it benefit you. So I can't think of anything else, but I appreciate all of you for contributing to this live stream, and I wish to continue doing the live stream. And I'm very spontaneous. Sometimes I don't know what I want to talk about, and when I think of something, and if I feel moved to do it, I just do it. Some people, they say, okay, I'm going to do a live stream every such and such day, but I'm not like that. I don't work that way. I feel if you have something to say, then to do it. So also I want to add before I go that definitely, if you have questions, to comment in the comment section when it's this video is uploaded. You could share my video with your friends or family members. I would appreciate if you can give me the thumbs up if you like my video and my channel. And what else? Yeah, and I want to provide content that I think that you will enjoy, and as part of the awakening process for all of us. Yeah. So as I say, each one teach one, and I learn from you guys also. Okay. So yes, thank you all for sharing in this live stream, and may you have a wonderful, wonderful week. Okay? So take care and enjoy your evening. Be safe, guys and gals. Yes. Bye-bye.